Hello there folks, my name is Stephanie, and this is a patch comparison video for Splatoon 3 version 2.1.0. This is a much more sizable balance patch than what we've seen before, and I do want to say up front that I'm only going to be covering balance changes. There were a lot of meaningful bug fixes, so for background footage for this part I'm showing a short montage of some of the bugs that got fixed in this patch as well. So, let's get into it. Starting off with the Aerospray, the paint output for the trails left behind by your shots has been increased by about 10%. This makes the weapon paint a little bit better. Jet Squelcher's blur while firing on the ground has been reduced by 17%. If you don't know what blur is, it's basically the time between when you start firing and when your shots reach their maximum inaccuracy. The Splattershot Nova's paint output has been increased by 19%. Sort of playing into the Splattershot Nova basically being a long arrow spray. The Dynamo Roller's damage falloff has been altered, so you can now do more damage from further away. With the Big Swig Roller, the minimum damage from your horizontal flicks has been increased from 30 to 35 damage. Bamboozler's ink consumption has been reduced by about 17%, bringing you up from 11 fully charged shots on a full tank to 14. The Nautilus has a 15% increased firing duration. The Sloshing Machine's ink consumption has been increased by about 10%, bringing you down from about 11 shots to about 10. Angle Shooter's damage has been increased from 30 to 35, and the paint radius when striking walls and floors has been pretty much doubled. The quick respawn and special saver effects of Tacticooler are no longer affected by you running Respawn Punisher, however it still applies if you get respawn punished by an opponent. Reef Slider now has a longer period of invulnerability, going from the time when the special explodes to the end of the end lag. The size of the hitbox on Triple Ink Strike has been increased by 10%, and the damage inflicted has been increased by about 50%. Crab Tank now has a lower duration from about 9 seconds to about 8 seconds. They did give it a slightly altered curve for special power-ups, so if you run lots and lots of special power-up, you will gain greater benefits than you used to. With Ninja Squid, for about half a second after switching forms, you will make ripples in the ink. It also presumably stacks a bit differently with swim speed up. I don't really know exactly what this change is because it's kind of worded strangely in the patch notes. As for the special class changes, the Splattershot 52 Gal, 96 Gal, Splattershot Pro, Splattershot Nova, and Splat Dualies have had a reduced special cost of 10 points, and the custom Splattershot Jr., Sloshing Machine, and Splatana Wiper have had an increased special cost by 10 points. This patch is a bit of a weird one, to say the least. On the one hand, I like a lot of the changes they made, particularly a lot of the buffs, and I also like that they're continuing to give actual reasons for some of the buffs. In this case, the change of the Bamboozler, Nautilus, and Dynamo Roller was specifically done because of the loss of main power-up. I was really looking forward to the Bamboozler change especially, partially because it's a weapon I really love, but also partially because it was effectively a reversion of a change made back when Nintendo didn't know how to balance Splatoon 2. I don't really get the buffs to the Aerospray or the Jet Squelcher. I can kind of understand the Splattershot Nova's buff though. It didn't used to paint substantially better than a lot of the weapons with similar range. The Big Swig Roller's buff is actually a lot bigger than it probably seems at first. It basically guarantees that the weapon will always be at least a 3-hit kill, which is pretty huge for a weapon that isn't exactly known for damage. Angle Shooter's increased damage makes combos a lot more consistent, especially with the Slosher Deco, and it can even be used as a mobility tool, which is hilarious. I think the changes to Tacticooler and Reef Slider make a lot of sense. Reef Slider used to be easily punished for one of its few main uses, and Tacticooler actively punished you for wanting to try out certain playstyles alongside it. I do like the Triple Ink Strike change. The special feels a lot more substantial now than it used to, and it really feels like it should have felt this way before. The Ninja Squid change is definitely weird. I really wish Nintendo worded the Ninja Squid change better, because I'm still not entirely sure what they changed about it. I'm honestly not sure the Crab Tank change is going to really be enough, especially since they nerfed Sloshing Machine, which was previously one of the few consistent answers to it. The duration wasn't a problem. If anything, it played further into the special's use as an area denial tool. The real problem with the special was that it had almost no counterplay because of how much range it had. So this change kind of just made it worse at its intended role, and they didn't really bother to touch its unintended role of being a bullshit 2-button counter everything tool. Anyway, this has been Freeform Boozler, and I'll see you sometime. There's a plane overhead, and I hope you can't hear it.